Hey, brothers, you're listening to the Home Bar Happy Hour. So get your popcorn ready because we're about to get Maxine Nightingale up in this bitch. Let's roll, America. So, hey, Joe, we're back, man. I'm Mike. This is Joe. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing good, Michael. How are you? I got to ask you, what is Maxine Nightingale? I have no idea
Maxine
what you're talking
Nightingale, bro. Dude, real awesome. Kind of like a disco slash soul train artist.
about. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Maxine Nightingale, man.
I know Florence Nightingale. She was a nurse. That's all I know. I don't know no Maxine Nightingale.
Yeah, Maxine Nightingale. That'll give like our listeners something to look up as an artist.
Yes. This week's episode is sponsored by Maxine Nightingale and her latest album. I don't know what it is.
Well, I mean, I don't even know she's alive. I mean, bless herself. If not, hope she's resting well.
I hope if Maxine, if you're out there, here or beyond, we all wish you well.
So we had a good weekend here this past weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, Joe and I met up down in Philly at his home bar, and then we went to the Phillies game. And man, we had a great time. Just a great time. Met up with another veteran from Afghanistan. Yeah, we just had a blast.
Sure did. It was a good old time. I love going to the Phillies game, and the Phillies rocked the White Sox. I mean,
Oh yeah.
White Sox almost came back. I mean, they made a valiant effort, but I think they shut them out, right? Friday night, we went to the game Saturday. Yeah. Saturday was a shutout up until the ninth inning, but Philly still walked away with it. But good time. It was a nice day for a game too. Nice and
yes, it was.
Sunny out.
I'm glad that we went Saturday because Sunday was pretty brutally chilly.
Yeah, Sunday was real cold, man. That sucked. Sunday was a recovery day for me. I spent most of the day just inside, nursing a hangover.
Yeah, hey man, you handle hangovers pretty well.
I do.
Me, on the other hand, I made the mistake, dude. You went to bed early, like right after, what was it, probably around like 11, 12 o'clock? Dude, I made the mistake by hanging out at your bar, and I got sucked into the casino down there. And I was up till like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I was like, oh my God, I woke up and I was like, what was I thinking? Yeah, but I wasn't bad when I woke up.
Yeah, you're getting tuned.
I did. I was ripping and tearing down there in your bar, man.
Yeah.
Listening to nothing but Maxine Nightingale and Maxine Nightingale and Beastie Boys.
Oh man. So it was a real party down here.
Yeah, but I did. I was I didn't want to come upstairs to go to bed because I didn't want to risk falling down your steps.
It's happened. It has happened before.
Yeah, I don't need your wife like, what the fuck is he doing?
What's barreling down our stairs at 3 a.m?
Holy hell!
Freak the dog out. Yeah, that's good. Appreciate you thinking of us even in your inebriated state.
Absolutely, man.
But it was a good time, dude. That's probably one of my favorite things when drinking is just hanging out at one of our home bars and watching music videos on YouTube till whenever,
Yeah.
That's where it's at. Hey, so you got a question for me, Mike. I want to jump into this because you are very excited about it, and I am very excited to hear it.
All right. Yeah, we'll get to it. All right. So I was going through Reddit, and I just didn't even go that far, and I just started pissing myself laughing. So, Joe, what are your thoughts on this? It says, I think I fucked up by getting caught with a dildo up my ass.
Oh man.
I'm a 29-year-old male.
Uh-huh.
I have been with my girlfriend who's 27 for 4 years, living together for 2. We have pretty good hold on a minute. The menu's in the way. Pretty good sex life, but there are some things that I want that she doesn't. and since it's an alternate account, I'll just say sometimes I like being pegged. I told her this exactly once, about 6 months into a relationship. At first, she thought I was joking, just laughed at me. When she realized I was serious, she said it was weird and gross and had absolutely no interest in it. And I haven't mentioned it since. I still have an old dildo from a past relationship. My ex loved pegging me with it. She was the one who convinced me to try it in the first place. I still used it to masturbate, not every time, but most of the time. My girlfriend doesn't know I have it, and I intended to keep it that way. But I was home alone enjoying myself. My girlfriend was supposed to be out for most of the day, but she ended up coming home early. She came in quietly. I was being rather loud. So I didn't know she was home until she walked into the bedroom. When I saw her, I panicked, screamed, rolled off the bed, hit my head on the nightstand, and the dildo fell out with a loud, wet plop. She started laughing louder than I have ever heard her laugh before in her life, and she turned and left the apartment. No clue where she went or why she came back early at all. So now, a few hours later, I'm just sitting here, absolutely no idea what to do. I haven't texted or called. She hasn't either. I could see on Life 360 that she's at the beach with some friends, like she was planning on. If her plans don't change again, she won't be back for another hour or two. I have absolutely no idea what will happen when she gets back. I'm seriously considering going to a friend's house to hide from all this. Fuck my life. My girlfriend walked in. What is this? Yeah, he's starting to break this whole thing up by updates that make no sense.
But I think I got the general gist of it. He's probably adding some additional context after the fact. Well, talk about getting caught with your pants down, you know?
Hey man, more power to you, man. Hey, my thing is if that's your thing, you keep it private, whatever, man. I don't care. All I know is that I'm not a fan of getting pegged.
Sure.
I've never been pegged, and I refuse to get pegged. And if somebody tries to peg me, you're going to get the old, the uppercut. And, but yeah, dude, hey, but that's, the freedom. And hey, dude, that's your thing. And there's no shame in it. I've been caught by my ex-girlfriend, the old tug. And she walked in from a long week away, and she came in, and I didn't hear her, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up? How was work and everything? Good? Yeah, cool. All right, yeah." But I don't know about getting pegged though. Jesus, how does that even happen? Like, how does one even inserted up there? Like, that's impossible for me. It would seem impossible.
Well, I'm sure it would take some time and some practice and some lube. But I mean, orifices are malleable. They can stretch. They can.
A loud, wet plop.
That is what is a little concerning. A wild, wet plop insinuates that it was not secure inside of there. So this is and I mean, he does state that this was a pretty common occurrence. Not every time, but most times. So, I mean, that sucker's just hot dog down a hallway at this point. I feel bad for this guy. That is mortifying for that to happen.
Well, he addressed it to her.
He did. He brought it up. He told her that's, a thing. It's still got to be a little shocking to come into that. As the girl, I would, if I was the girl, or if I was a guy and I came home and I saw a girl with something up her rectum, I would be a little. I mean, I would be like, oh, I guess that's what's happening nowadays. I guess Joe goes to get groceries and we pull out cucumbers,
Zucchinis.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want any of that out of that fridge.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You keep your Cobb salad. I'm good. Yeah, I feel bad for you. I mean, I'm glad that the dude was honest and forthright up front at the beginning. Said, "Hey, this is my bag. This is my deal." But after that,
I was like, as soon as I read that, I was like, dude, I have to read some of these comments, and I'm actually. There weren't too many funny ones. I just saw one. How did the congregation react when you busted out that vow? Because apparently they got married. I don't know.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, and then where was this other one at? That was it was really down here, but yeah. Go ahead with your finger crossed for you, my guy.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? Be open, be honest, and hopefully she can come back and say like, hey, that's your thing, that's your bag. I said I wouldn't be a part of it, and I'm not. But if you can find this outlet for yourself, then go right ahead. And but yeah, that is the most embarrassing story I could ever think of.
Apparently, through that entire, because the story was so long, and I was like, man, we get the gist of it. But apparently, he went for the dildo again, and he couldn't find it. And somebody's like, can you update us on when you find the dildo? Because I'm somehow the only one in the comments wondering how something like this just vanishes.
Well, she probably hit it. And by hit it, I mean throw it away.
A black hole when I'm startled. Oof.
Oh boy.
Yeah, somebody. She should strap up and also tell you her darkest fantasy for you in reciprocation. Some weirdos in here, man. The situation sounds like a pain in the ass.
It sure does.
Yeah,
fair on that.
Yeah, we should move off on this.
Let's move off. Let's move away from sodomy right now. Let's move into something different.
What were you going to ask me?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I got a question for you. This also comes from Reddit. Someone asked, and this is actually more, I'm just curious. They say, why are lobsters cooked alive? Isn't that cruel? Why aren't they just killed before? Why do they do that, Mike? Why do they throw lobsters alive into a boiling pot?
Pot of water?
Yeah, why not?
Because you want to keep them alive when you kill them, because if they die, then they start to decay really quick. So what are you going to, like, you need to, just throw them in. Like, they're lobsters. They're not pets. They're crustaceans.
But they probably have feelings.
They don't have feelings. Wait, what's next? We're going to have to start killing shrimp before we even throw them into the boiling?
Do we not? I don't know.
Shrimp, actually, yeah. Well, the shrimp die as soon as you catch them. But the lobsters you got to keep alive because they have like a shorter. They'll decay. You'll get food poisoning pretty quick. You don't want to mess around with crustaceans, man. You want to keep them as fresh as possible.
That's the same with crabs, right? You throw crabs live into a boiling pot.
Yes.
And they just die. I mean, how long does it take a lobster to die?
Not that long, man. They scream too, man.
See, I told you they have feelings. Think about the little
one. I remember I was making it. The one grabbed me by my fucking hand, and I was like, "Oh, mother, you're going in the pot now."
Oh, what? He got you with his pinchers?
Yeah, he got me with the pinchers. Pretty good, man.
Why didn't you have the rubber bands around them? That's what they're for, Mike.
No, we just throw them right in, man.
Yeah, you need those rubber bands.
You won't really find that. Yeah, you're not going to hear any of that back in the kitchen at Red Lobster.
So, yeah. Well, yeah, in Red Lobster, right, you walk in, there's the big aquarium. They're all in there, alive and well. You get to pick them out. Isn't that a weird thing we do? You pick out your own lobster that you want to eat?
No, because lobsters are expensive, and it's just like picking out a steak. So if you're going in and picking out a steak, like, you kind of want to, you know what you're looking for.
But you don't meet the cow beforehand.
No, but you want to, it's just the same. A lobster is not the same as a cow.
I guess not.
A cow is like a large living creature, so you don't want to be around when they slaughter that.
No, I do not.
Yeah, unless you want to be, Rocky Balboa. But yeah, lobsters. Nobody questions like fish. They're the same as fish. It's seafood.
Yeah, but you cut their heads off. You don't like boil them
not
alive.
all the time. No, not all the time. Like, well, the fish lack oxygen and stuff like that. It's the same with a lobster. So when they start lacking oxygen and stuff, you throw them in boiling water for it.
It just seems cruel. These poor lobsters. I mean, I'm still going to eat them.
Cruel.
I don't care.
Yeah, you want to talk about cruel? Go in and look up veal and lamb, and how that is, especially veal. You want to talk about cruel? But we're not raising these animals to be pets. That's what my chef said.
Well, if it's veal, you're not raising them at all, really.
And he is very similar to you. And he's like, we're not raising these pets. We're not raising these animals to be pets. They're being raised for food.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true.
And again, dude, if you were to go and get veal, like that's really expensive. Like veal is expensive because you're paying for all the. You're paying for all the animal, you're paying for the extra mile for what it would be considered as animal cruelty. So, but man, always love that osso buco.
Fair enough. Question was, what is a healthy amount of I can't believe it's not butter? I think that's a stupid question now that I'm looking at it.
Yeah. Dude, it's been like since I've been born, like it all depends on what diet you're on. Of course, if you're eating nothing but processed foods and starches and sugars and stuff like that, obviously butter's going to be bad. But if you're on a like I'm on keto, I mean, as long as you're not eating like a stick of butter, you're throwing it in there. I mean, you could use butter because that's like straight fat and there's no carbs in it. So it just goes right out your body, but you need that for flavor. Being a chef, cooking with butter is important. And when you start getting into all these other butters, like these
margarine and
like the stuff that's like imitation butter and stuff, that's like what is it? The
Crisco?
Splenda.
Splenda
and stuff like that, like the imitation sugar stuff. So, I mean, if you're that concerned about that, like, I mean, the best thing is just to be natural, like all natural foods, make your own food at home. That's what I've learned from being on keto so far. And just staying away from junk, garbage, processed foods. Like, I feel like processed foods have a lot to do with America's obesity. And dude, it's taken me 40 years to understand this, and I'm finally understanding it now because man, do I love breakfast sandwiches, dude, all the junk food and stuff like that. And dude, I honestly feel like there's drugs in this stuff because it's like how Coca-Cola had cocaine in it.
Yeah,
dude, I really feel like I was like, because when you get off of it, when I started keto for that first month, it was hell on earth, man. I felt like I was going through withdrawals, like some kind of addict.
Right. Well, you take out all the carbs. Yeah.
Yeah. And will you eliminate sugars and starches and stuff like that? Like, and then it's good to treat yourself every once in a while. Like we went to the game. This past weekend, it's not like I could go walk around with a bottle of vodka and like 22 liters of fucking Sprite Zero. So I did have a cheat day. I drank beer, and when I drink beer, Joe knows me.
Lots of beers were consumed.
Yep, lots of beers were consumed. But
lots of innocent Miller Lights.
I tried to keep it as much keto as I did. So I had like a 3-egg feta omelet at 6:30 in the morning. Then it was some nasty ass hot dogs at this bar with sauerkraut, and it was just the hot dogs and sauerkraut. But I had to eat something, man. I was fucking starving. And then when we got to the ballpark, then I had you gotta have like a sausage or a hot dog on at the ballpark, and then I smelled that popcorn. It's like, where the fuck's that popcorn guy at?
Oh man, you were tearing up popcorn that night. You were on you were on a mission from God to find popcorn.
Hey man, I'm like Dave Portnoy, man. I'm a popcorn guy, man. Fresh popcorn, no butter, just regular straight up popcorn. That's my jam, dude.
Oh, so that's interesting. You don't like butter on your popcorn? You like dry popcorn?
Yep.
Not me. I like my popcorn wet. I like it.
Yeah. That's one, it gets too greasy for my fingers, and plus I feel like it's a little bit overboard for myself. I just like dry popcorn. It's just dry, lightly salted popcorn.
I like to be fumbling with my keys when I'm done eating popcorn. I can't hold on to nothing. Get it real nice and wet.
Yeah, you know where else they sell a lot of popcorn? The circus.
The circus.
What are your what's your opinions on the circus? Would you go to one? I mean, like I haven't been to a circus. I don't think I've ever been to a circus. I do know that times have changed, and the circus is a little bit more, it's not as wild as it used to be.
I mean, hell yeah, I'd go to a circus.
You watch American Horror Stories and shit.
Yeah, I mean that's a little different, right? Back in the day, there used to be the bearded woman and the 400-pound man or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what all it is now. Like, I'm sure it's still elephants, right, in a 3-ring. And they're doing tricks. Yeah, I think you got a lion tamer.
I think that would be like the only reason I would go back to I would want to go to the circus, but I can go to the zoo.
You can go to the zoo.
Clowns freak me out, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of clowns. I'm not a big fan of clowns. I think if you're going at night.
I'm not a big fan of clowns either.
The circus is also going to have.
Yeah, especially if you're going at night.
Yeah. The circuses are also going to have rides, right? Like they'll come to town and there'll be those rides that come out of a suitcase. I mean, I know that's a fair as well, but that's the only thing I wouldn't do at a circus or a fair for that matter is get on a roller coaster that someone put on the back of their truck and then had drug addicts and alcoholics put it together with Scotch glue and Band-Aids. I mean, there's no way you can get on that thing.
I mean, what would you rather do? Would you rather go and ride the circus rides and stuff like that? Or would you rather go to Cypress Hill on 420?
I'd go to Cypress Hill on 420. That would be sick.
You're like, who goes to Cypress Hill on 420? What are you, insane?
In the membrane, apparently.
Dude, you had me going, man. I was losing it.
Yeah. No, I would hit up a circus for sure if one ever comes to town, comes to Philly. I'd like to see the animals, see the lion tamer. I would never do something like that. They have the guys that wrestle bears or, put the chair out of the lion because those are wild animals, man. They can be your best friend, especially lions, cats. Like Siegfried and Roy, right? Had that crazy panther or cougar or whatever for a tiger maybe for years and years. And like, oh, this is my buddy. Have you ever met a house cat? A normal house cat will be chill for 10 years and then one day just lose it, flip on you. Tiger's just a big house cat.
The uncertainty, like the animals want to be like dogs. Dogs are mostly like they're. I feel like the dogs are like the sweetest pets.
Well, we've domesticated dogs. I don't think we've domesticated cats. I think we just found cats that are small enough, like you can train a dog.
Yeah, but cats are cats, man. You get a cat that runs away, like that's the animal instinct in them. They don't want to be around all that shit that they don't want to be around anybody that they don't know. They feel, so if you have a pet tiger in the house and you come over, that fucking tiger's probably going to attack you, man.
Yeah,
you see those wild videos of like those Saudi princes and shit that got tigers and
well, the tiger
jumps in the pool. That tiger jumped in the pool. That motherfucker was like, "I'm getting the fuck out of him." What the fuck? He's like, "Hey man, I just want to come hang out, bro."
Yeah, dude, that Tiger King. Remember did you watch that? The Tiger King?
Oh yeah. I watched that for a little bit, but something like that. It kind of gets. I made it through like I don't know, like 4 episodes and I was like, I'm over this.
Dude, the people working there was a dude there working there with no legs, had like prosthetic legs, a girl working there with one arm, and they're like, oh, how'd you look? Like the tigers. That's how we lost our limbs. The tigers took our limbs off. Yeah. Like obviously you guys are all losing limbs. I wouldn't work at a place where half the staff are, lost limbs from just hazards of the job. You got to get me some real good health insurance to do that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that brings it like up to like, dude, you ever watch Beast, The Beast, or whatever? What was that new Tiger movie with what's his name? He plays
Idris Elba.
Thor. Yeah. I thank you. I never knew how to pronunciate his name, but yeah, dude. Forget that. I remember what was it? My first Lion movie that I ever seen was Ghost in the Darkness with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas.
I've never seen
that. Was a good one. You never seen that?
No,
Dude,
what's it about?
It's a good flick, man.
Tell me the plot. Sell
It's
me
based
on.
back in like, so it's based back in like the 1800s, early 1900s, probably the early 1900s, somewhere pre World War One,
Okay.
and it was during the British expansion into Africa, and they had a problem with they were building a railroad through Africa. The British were, and they were having trouble with the they needed somebody to come down there and bring, because they had different religions and stuff like that, and they needed somebody to go down there to bring them together as well as defend them and represent them. And so that was Val Kilmer, and he was one of the, I guess he was, as a soldier, he was like as an officer in the British Army, he was also one of the best hunters. So like that's when they sent him down there, and then he got a taste for the, know what was going on, and it was pretty good to start out. And then all of a sudden, like these two, the lines just started just ripping and tearing, man. Then that's when he had no choice, but he got Remington. I believe that's who it was. The man who invented the Remington rifle. I'm assuming. I'm assuming. I think that's how the story was. But Michael Douglas plays Remington.
Okay.
And yeah, it's pretty good. When Michael Douglas comes in there, it's pretty. He plays pretty good. He plays pretty good in that.
Yeah, I'll have to give that one a watch. Give that one a try.
Yeah, definitely give that one a watch. But speaking of movies, dude, I watched Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, did you? What'd you think of it?
I thought it was good. All the way into the end, it was a little far-fetched at the end. And I'm like, all right, this is, it kind of reminded me of like Poltergeist, like the 80s Poltergeist.
Sure.
So, I mean, it's the human imagination and stuff like that. Plus, I don't know. It was good all the way up until then. I think I felt like they could have done more with what's his name, the main actor, and what transpired and how he got to that point.
Yeah.
There at the end. But it kind of just like, it was like a hodgepodge there at the end. It was like a mix, you know what I mean? Like tossed in there, and I don't know. It was an all right movie. I didn't mind it.
So I actually disagree with you a little bit on that. So you probably don't remember, there was this old flick called Ghost Watch back in the 80s. It was a British television program, and it was basically a movie, but they shot it all like a real life news broadcast. And it was these, journalists that are going into this haunted house, and everything is done, straight, like it's a normal, live, Halloween television presentation. So people, and a lot of people weren't aware that it was scripted. They thought it was a real thing. So it's these journalists, they go into this haunted house, and, it continually gets crazier and crazier. And some people freaked out, but it's a pretty good special. It kind of changed it. So that's basically what Late Night with the Devil is. The majority of the flick is set like an old, like, late 60s, early 70s TV, show. And it's on Halloween night. They're doing the special, and he's going to be interviewing this little girl who is possessed by a demon and her kind of handler. And what I wish with the movie is that the whole thing was framed like that, in the vein of like the Blair Witch Project or, Paranormal Activity, something like that. I really didn't like at the beginning, they give you like this weird 10 minutes of exposition that's like, this is all the stuff that leads up to it. And then during the film, it cuts to these like kind of behind the scenes things, and those are shot in black and white while the actual film is shot in color. So I just wish it would have been a little more opaque, I guess, because like at the beginning of the movie, they're like just kidding, like point by point by point, like, oh, so this happened in this guy's life, and then he's involved with these people, and you're like, okay, so now I know that these things are going to be important an hour and a half later in the flick. That was my only problem with it. But other than that, like especially the actual like television broadcast portion, I thought was really well. It was, pretty haunting. I liked it. I thought it was good for that. I saw it in theaters at like 11 p.m. the night before Easter. And I was like, this is a good way to go into Easter, to celebrate the resurrection by watching Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, I don't know about that, dude. Well, I watched it. I make sure when I watch movies like that there's still light outside.
Okay. You don't want to get
so
too
it's kind of
freaked
like
out.
a morning. It's kind of like a morning or an afternoon movie.
Yeah.
If but yeah, I'm not watching that shit when it's dark out.
Oh no, I watched.
There's too much stuff in this house that gives off noises that'll my hair. The rest of the hair that I have left
start standing straight up.
Right, yeah, it'll come. No, it'll come right out of my scalp. There's a few. I can watch slasher movies.
Well, those
I can watch that. But man, when it comes to like ghosts and demons and shit, like no fucking way am I watching that shit at night.
So that gets you more than like slasher flicks.
Yep, a lot more.
The paranormal stuff.
Dude, you're talking about like dude. I watched The Exorcist once, and I think I just said this on a recent episode. Yeah, I just watched it. I think last year. No, 2 years ago, two Octobers ago, and yeah, dude, I'm like, how the hell did people in the '70s get through this? Because even I was still not terrified, but it was fucked up.
Yeah, it's a messed up.
I'm like, dude, I can only imagine what it would have been like back in the '70s when this came out. My God, people probably had nightmares for like fucking like 5 years.
Things started to change. I don't know if you know this. There used to be something called the Hays Code in American cinema. So, and that lasted until like the mid '60s. So that's why if you watch like any of these old movies from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, they're all like really tame and there's no cursing and there's no sex. Like it was just like a self-regulated thing.
That's not true. That stuff was there. It was there back then. Yeah, I mean, you had look what Reefer Madness. That movie was made back in the 30s.
Yeah, but Reefer Madness didn't have it. Reefer Madness was a political propaganda film against marijuana. It just came, yeah, it started showing up as like a joke later on because it's so corny. But once
once
the studios
just mellow out, bro.
Once the studios like started going away from the Hays Codes, you got in these like newer directors like the Stanley Kubricks and the Daniel Friedkins, and then they just went like the opposite way, right? They went like Last House on the Left. It's where all these exploitation flicks started coming from.
Well, dude, I mean, there's a lot of like see, it goes back to what I said. It's like people only live in today. They only live today. They have a very select memory. And the memory, like, if you look back, and this is not even like, if you look back, I'm talking like, not even just politically, but socially, like, it was almost the same as it is now. I mean, of course, things have changed. Technology, us as a human species have changed. But, dude, people were freaks back in the day.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, like, there were, if you were a part, if you were gay back then, like you were subject to more, it was more religiously involved, and well,
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't socially acceptable. You had to, you had to hide yourself, and
but the people, but the same people that were against it were doing some freaky ass shit behind the scenes.
Yeah, it was a weird time. If you go through any of the literature from the 50s and 40s and stuff, I mean, all that stuff's there. Last Exit to Brooklyn was written like 1958, and it's about transvestites and hookers and everything. It
doesn't even stop there. It goes all the way back to back to the Roman times.
Oh yeah,
like the Romans, the Egyptians, the British, like during King James and all them back in the day. So,
yeah,
we're nobody different, but people just need to cool out. Have a cold drink, turn on Home Bar Happy Hour, grab, if you're in the weed, go ahead and smoke your joint. Weed's not my thing. But hey man, if you're doing it like I'm drinking and just, being respectful of other people, hey, more power to you, man. Just turn us on, give us a listen, give us a tune.
Take a toke and give us a tune.
Yeah, take a toke, take a drink. Chill out. relax. Summertime's here, man. It's a beautiful day.
It is. I wonder if we'll start seeing marijuana bars pop up all over the place. You know, the way we have like
well, I did see Fetterman was pushing for. And you know what? That's what I think we were talking about this. Like, I really feel like somebody's got their hands in the pot up top.
Sure.
But let's move on here. Let's move on. Let's go to. We still have beef time left. So Joe, we've got some beef. We got some beef here, don't we?
Yeah, you know what I don't like, Mike, and this just came up a little bit ago. Last weekend, my wife wanted to order some food, and she wanted to get like a delivery app, use like, was it DoorDash or something, Uber Eats. And dude, I just like don't understand. Like, we ordered a meal or whatever, and it was like $35 if you called and order them. But getting it through Uber Eats was going to be like $65, like an extra $30 for the driver. They charge more for the food. Then you got to tip the driver. It's cold when it gets to you. It's just brutal, dude. Like, just get in your car and drive 5 minutes, pick it up and drive 5 minutes home. You know, I used to drive for DoorDash for a little bit when I first moved to LA to make a little bit of money and kind of learn the town. And it's a brutal job. It's like brutal to be a DoorDash driver. So if you're ordering it, tip for them. But like, dude, I had one dude order from a Jack in the Box, and I don't know exactly how it all works in the app.
Jack in the Box.
So I think it goes to like whatever their closest, Jack in the Box is to that person. So that Jack in the Box was in a mall. So I had to like park my car in a mall parking lot, find the food court, find that Jack in the Box, pick it up, and then go to this guy. Dude, it was like a 45-minute trip, for $8 or whatever, because it's only so close to each other. Yeah, I am not a Uber Eats, DoorDash type of guy. I'm a call them up, order a pizza, and then go and get it. What about you, Mike? How do you feel about delivery apps?
Dude, I totally get it. There's only I typically only order from one place, and that's this Italian pizza joint down the road. Mm-hmm. One, because they do awesome fucking salads. I've been ordering there for like the last 4 years since I lived here, and their food is spectacular. I did have one bad order, but I messaged them privately because I always order like mild wings and a salad. And when I got the salad, the greens, the greens were brown. It wasn't a great salad, dude. And the wings were a lot smaller than they usually are. So I messaged them back. I was like, hey, the food I always order here. The food wasn't this great. I just want to give you a heads up, just a friendly heads up privately thing. And then when I ordered again, the same thing, dude, fresh.
Yeah.
Dude, they had my address like probably copied.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that salad was fantastic, and the wings were just they were big. Like, dude, wings are the shit, and mild wings, and dude, it's like all like no carbs, so it's like, so they do like a garlic. What they do is they do a pizza. And then they just do their pizza, and then they put like garlic and herbs and stuff like that on there and just toast it off. And then they cut it into slices, and that's what their garlic bread is. And that automatically comes in there and just toss it out. Dude, it's a struggle too, man, because it smells so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, dude, that's what it's all about. And I don't really have no problems with all of it. But when you're ordering stuff from, Applebee's and all that, yeah, dude, that's what gets expensive. So I got, what was it, like a dozen wings, a large salad, and 2 Diet Cokes. Delivery, $40. Not even that.
Whoa.
It was like $36.
Okay.
When I mean a large salad, I mean a large fucking salad, man.
Yeah, I guess that's not too bad.
It's the chef salad. It's got an egg and lunch meat in it, and and it's a healthy portion.
Yeah.
And but yeah, dude. It all depends on where you're at, dude. And Also, I do love it when I run out of Sprite Zero. And I'm like, dude, I ran out of Sprite Zero, man. I'm like, dude, I am not taking this vodka straight up. I'll
Sure.
be dancing. I'll be dancing or passed out my lawn. I'm like, so I need like a mixer. So, when I'm already drinking and stuff like that, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So when I get all my stuff, I am locked down. I don't drive anywhere. So, yeah. So, I mean, like having like Sprite, delivered and shit like that. I mean, I don't have a problem like paying someone. Always like tip them too. So
you bring up a good point, right? If you've been drinking, then definitely go for the Uber Eats. It's definitely cheaper than a DUI, 100%. Get that stuff delivered right to your doorstep.
Yeah.
Do not get out of the house for your late night McDonald's.
Oh, yeah.
Just let DoorDash take care of it for you.
Yeah. Don't be that person, that prevents the cops from actually taking care of something that they should be taking care of instead of being out, and then give them a reason to be out.
Right.
To looking for DUI and stuff like that. Let them take care of, the people who are making the really bad choices.
Yeah, the real bad choices.
Yeah, the real bad choices. Yeah. But
the wet, loud
I did think that I had something for a food delivery service. There was a story that came up that I was like, that's why I put it down there. And I thought I would have remembered it because I did actually have some beef. And I think you actually topped it too because of the, what is it? The quality of your food when it comes to
yeah. So
I have no problem like messaging them and stuff like that. But I also have another problem. It's like, dude, if this is the first time I'm getting it, and your food is, poop.
Yeah.
Like I'm never ordering here again.
Well, that's on.
But there's certain times when I'm down in when I was down in Nashville, like I would order something, late night, or when I was out in Colorado. Like I'm not going out. I just want to just relax and just chill. I just got off my flight. I'm just going to order something and then sleep it at my hotel room and scurry away.
Yeah,
I don't want to meet. We're not here to make friends.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a Chipotle connoisseur. I love Chipotle. It is like definitely my favorite quick service restaurant, QSR. But if you order like a burrito from Chipotle on Uber Eats, that burrito is about half the size of what it would be if you go in there and you order it. When you walk, and you stare them down as they're putting in the meat in there, dude, it is. I've done it like twice, I think. Got like Uber Eats, Chipotle to me, and the burritos were so small, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I would never do this again.
Dude, I definitely think it's also an area thing. Like, if we were to go down there to Philly, like probably if we were out drinking and stuff like that, or just there at your house, I would say, if we were going to DoorDash anything, it would probably just like, dude, let's just get wings and pizza.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I know that if you're in a high density area, you're not going to get the best customer service.
True.
On the restaurant's end or on the delivery end. So you just want to make it as easy as possible for them because you understand as being a door or food delivery driver.
Yeah,
it's a bitch. So it's just like just make their job easy and just do like that's the only time that I would do is just like dude, just do pizza and wings. You guys eat the pizza, I'll eat the wings.
Right.
Or like when you're, that's what I feel like making it just as simple as possible. Don't come, you know what I mean? And that's probably what I do when I go out to restaurants too. Like, I'm not really a picky person. Like, I don't question what's on there. Like, I'm just like, oh, hey, yep, I'll do this. You want everything? Like, if I get a burger or if I get like, pasta or a steak or something like that, medium rare. Do you want this? Nope, just simple. Like, dude, what's on the menu? I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get my food spin on.
Right. Back. Yeah. No special requests. No asking anything crazy. Just keep it simple. Go in and out. I will say one time I went. This was the one of the biggest beefs I've ever had with Chipotle. I went into a Chipotle. This was here in Philly, and this is like 2023. I want to say it was last year. Maybe it was 2022, but still, we were like 2 to 3 years out from the pandemic. I walk in and I go up to the counter, and the person behind the counter says, "Sorry, we're only taking online orders." I'm like, "I am looking at you and I want a burrito." He's like, "If you want one, you can place an order on the app and then wait." And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm here physically in person to get a burrito from you, and you're just throwing me to the wind for all these, appers out here, whatever you want to call them." I was like livid. I was like, "I'm never going to a Chipotle again."
I would love to see you livid. I've seen you get angry, but not angry like you. Every time I've seen you get angry, like you always cut short. You're always like when you were expressing yourself to me, you're like, "Well, Mike, maybe we should do it this way." Right, Joe, but you don't understand. There's a lot more to this than just what you see. Like, that's how I always try to explain it to you, but I don't have time to explain because we're always like...
Yeah.
But yeah, the Army. The Army always brought the worst out of us.
Yeah, that's true. I try to keep an even head. That was just the one time I was like, this makes zero sense. This is the worst customer service. Like, I'm walking into your store and you're not going to serve me. Like, what kind of place are you running here?
What kind of flop house is going on around here?
Yeah, for real.
That's what I would do. I just walk in there and just start being just obnoxious and just start just being obscene. Not like cursing or swearing or something like that. Just being hot-headed or something. I would just start being have maybe like a stutter or just like act like you're all right, yeah, we're not going to go down that road. Because I don't, hey, can I get some cheese on that burger, man?
Right.
Do you got ketchup and slaw? Dude, I remember when I used to work at my fucking McDonald's, and my friends used to come through and just stuff like that. I remember I just became on the... it was like one of my first jobs, and I remember when I was up there and my buddies were coming through, and I didn't know that they were coming through, and I was working the headset and doing drive-through, and then I was like, "Hi," and paid for it. He just got like a value meal, I guess. I can't remember, but he did order the extra large because when I gave him an extra large soda, and I was like, "Hey, buddy," and I just handed him. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And then as soon as I turned around, he's like, "This soda's warm, dick face," and threw it back into the window at me, and it just went all over the line, and he just took off. And I'm like, "You son of a bitch.
Oh,
you
man.
are done." That was actually pretty good, though.
Jeez.
That was during the time when McDonald's drive-thru workers were throwing ketchup packets back at customers, or they were filling up like whole ketchup cups and just whipping the whole cup at the car just to tag them. Yeah, dude.
Man, it's the Wild West of drive-thrus.
It was a bloodbath back then, man.
Apparently. Wow. Oh, man.
But...
Well, I think that's it, Mike. I think we did it. I think we did a show.
I think it is, too.
Yeah.
I really hope that we gave some entertainment to the masses today.
I hope we helped some people. I hope we helped this poor man with his flopping dildos on the floor.
A wild, wet plop.
A wild, wet plop. All right.
A loud, wet plop.
That means there was some density to it. On that note, thank you everyone for listening. You can follow us at Home Bar Happy Hour wherever you find stuff on the internet. You can email us at homebarhappyhour@gmail.com. That's it for me. What's it for you, Mike?
That's it for me too, brothers. And make sure you hit us up there, Home Bar Happy Hour on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and hey, maybe you'll catch us at a bar sometime.
Maybe.
All right, brothers. Check you later, man.
See ya.